Welcome back to the Salt Sector GBA fans, where we analyse whether or not the hacks displayed in week 6 were in fact a big deal or just, and I dare say, excuses. So we apologise that this video is a fair bit behind, we know, and we're on it and we should be good now. So anyways, since Jack is absent, of course I'll be hosting, and without further ado, let's begin. The first instance we have to talk about today is the war of the yellow magic between the Tampa Bay Luxrays and the Philadelphia Sizzles. Now, both teams actually got a lot of hacks against them, but since Chimpact lost, we will be going over mainly just his perspective and the endgame double power on the Slurpuff. So the war begins with Slurpuff versing a +2 attack parried Keldeo. Now, on the first turn the Slurpuff is out, Keldeo suffers from the yellow goodness, giving Slurpuff a free chance to set up a Cotton Guard without actually taking the first 29% from the Poison Jab. Now, on the following turn, Keldeo decides to go for the Poison Jab, doing 29% to Slurpuff, leaving it on 70% instead of the 40% that it should be on. Now, after seeing how little the Poison Jab is now doing, Mario decides to switch into his Red Steel on a Dazzling Gleam, which is where the hacks really intensifies. So, Monotui decides, you know what, I'm going to go for my own yellow magic, and decides to try and T-Wave the Slurpuff. However, actually misses 2 T-Waves in a row, giving Slurpuff a free Cotton Guard and Calm Mind. Now, determined to get the Power Hacks off, he goes for the third time, and eventually, after whittling him down with Seismic Toss, it forces Slurpuff to rest. And at this point, Mons being Mons, of course you cannot get a rest off when you're parried. A double power happens, which causes Chimp Slurpuff to be taken out before it gets off the clutches of Resto Chestos. Now, at this point, Slurpuff, if it got the rest off, looked like it was in a great position to sweep, because at +2, I believe, with 2 Calm Minds, it was easy knocking out everything except the Snorlax in like 1 or 2 hits. And I don't think, because Slurpuff was at +6, I don't think there was nothing Snorlax could really do that could really KO the Slurpuff before the Slurpuff KO'd it. So for that reason, and for the yellow magic really denting Chimp's, it legit just killed Chimp's hopes of winning. For that reason, of course, this Power Hacks is going to be labelled a big deal. So the second instance of hacks we have is between the Licky-licky of the Bronze Baratix and Blacephalon of the San Francisco Giants. Now, in the endgame, Scarf Blacephalon managed to pick up a kill on Joey's Whimsicott, putting it a +1 special attack and 20% health when put against the Licky-licky. Now, all Licky-licky had to do was connect the Dragon Tail, it was GG. However, Mons being Mons, of course that didn't happen. Licky-licky had an open net and just skied it over the bar. He got Power Hacks and could not connect the easiest Dragon Tail victory of all time, leaving Joey to collect an L instead of a dub. Now this was heartbreaking to watch, because Joey had this in the bag, he played well, and to lose it like this was definitely devastated. Now, because obviously Joey lost he literally just lost the game because of this, it's just an easy, quick hammer of big deal. Call the cops, because I sense a bit of salt from a certain Sharpedo. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is the third instance of hacks this week, with a critical hit by the Milwaukee Beware's Conqueror onto the San Jose Sharpedo's Swellow. Now, at this turn, Tom was actually willing to sack his Swellow to kill the Conqueror with a Brave Bird. Now, with the Muck Punch damage and the Brave Bird, it would have killed the Swellow, but he's willing to take that to take out one of the biggest threats on the opponent's team. Now, because Conqueror got a crit, he was able to take out the Swellow for free, which meant that the Conqueror was actually able to stay really healthy and be used to actually effectively wall the rest of Tom's team, which was shown in the battle, where he was able to use Conqueror to just slowly whittle down Tom's team for free. So in Tom's video, he actually says that there was nothing he could do from there, which is kind of why he got tilted a bit at the end, like a bit of salt and a bit of tilt. But it was warranted, because I do kind of agree that without Diancie, because he lost Diancie early, at that point Swellow was his last offensive check to get rid of the Conqueror, and getting that taken out for free just really dented Tom's hopes of winning, and there wasn't much he could do, because with the Figgy Berry on the Conqueror, any like But the Sludge Bomb on Roserade was probably a great, like one of his best efforts, and even that couldn't do anything because of the Figgy Berry. So it was good. It was pretty clutch berry, but yeah, at that point there was nothing really Tom could do. So the salt was warranted. So I'm not saying Wolfie wouldn't have won if he didn't get the crit, but the crit definitely did shatter Tom's hopes of winning. And so for that reason, the hammer is going down on Big Deal. So since I like to do things in threes, that concludes this segment, and now we can move on to the top 3 most luckiest players of the week. So number 3, we're rolling in with the Bronze Beratix with a crit Spadef drop on Shaman by Magnezone. So this mid battle, there was a crit Spadef drop on Shaman, which really dented it hard and forced him to switch out onto his own Magnezone, or with Ditto. And I just like, obviously, you might be like, well, the Beratix lost the game because how he's the most luckiest player. I did think that, but I just like to highlight the crit Spadef drops that happen in the game, because those are really denting for teams to face against. I just like to mention it. So the Bronze Beratix gonna sneak in a little bit of a luck moment there for number 3. Now, moving on to number 2, we have Wolfie and the Milwaukee Bewares with their Entei Ironhead flinch on Tom's Diancie, leaving Diancie just be kind of wasted. Plus the Muck Punch crit on the Swellow later in the game, as I explained before, which pretty much took out Swellow for free. So 2 pretty huge moments, which is why Wolfie's going to be handed the second most luckiest player. Now, for number 1, I made sure it wasn't like anything I've already explained before, which is why I didn't want to put Wolfie number 1, because I didn't want to like explain them twice. So for that, I decided to put the Florida Gators as actually the number 1 most luckiest player for his crit on the Arachnid with the Drain Punch, which actually allowed him to KO it the following turn with Thunder Punch, and also dodging a Focus Blast with the Drapion when he hard swapped it in on Zam, which allowed it so it didn't get 2-hit KO'd by the Zam's other Focus Blast, and which allowed Drapion to just easily take out the Zam. What these 2 instances of hacks just allowed the mid game for Gator to be really chill and easy, and made his mons be a lot healthier than what they usually would have been without the hacks. So for that reason, he takes number 1. And yeah, that's my rankings done. So that's going to be it for me this week. Hopefully I explained the hacks alright, and that's going to be the big deal or no big deal episode for week 6. So I'll see you guys around wherever I may be, and I'll catch you guys later.